Good morning. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. We got work to do. We're going to fill up this whole bin here with a bunch of clothing items that we sold on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. So we're going to fill this bin up. We're going to ship all the items out, and you're going to be along for the ride if you choose to be so. Excited to share some time with you today. We usually do this every Monday right around noontime, a little early today, 11:34, throwing out the first pitch. Welcome in. Thanks for saying hello if you have. Let's see. Let's get this kicked off on Instagram too. So we are live as we are every Monday. Instagram. Did it work? It didn't work on Instagram. Let's try this again. That's strange. Did it work? Let's try this again. We're live every week on Mondays on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. But let me try to reboot the Instagram. It didn't want to work that time. Technical difficulties. Welcome in. Copy. And let's see if I can get this to work. Oops. Edit. Save. Maybe now it'll work. We'll see what happens. I might actually be streaming on Instagram. It might have just glitched out, but we'll see. Anyway, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I think it just glitched out. I don't know if I'm live. I can't read your comments if you are live on Instagram. Anyway, we know we're on YouTube and Facebook, so we got that rock and rolling. And as always, these recordings are available after the live is over. As soon as I sign off from the live, you can rewatch. So if you're busy doing stuff, wrangling the kids, working, whatever. President's Day, George Washington's birthday today. So let me know down below in the chat. Do you have today off, or are you working today? Work or off? Let me know down below in the chat. Love to hear from you. Good morning, Tej. Welcome in. And as always, you are the boss for a few seconds anyway. So you get to choose. Are we going to start shipping with eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari? We have 3 sales on all 3 platforms from the weekend. So eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari. We did have Amazon sales, but they were FBA sales, which means they're already shipped. Amazon's taking care of those. So I actually don't have any FBM Amazon sales to ship. So let me know in the chat. You're the boss. eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari. Let me know down in the chat. Decent weekend of sales. It's February, so I always lower my expectations. My projections for February are always lower than other months for a couple of reasons. February is 3 days shorter than January. We have 28 days in February, so 3 days of sales cut off right there. It's also just a slow retail season. People are done, for the most part, buying their winter stuff. If they don't have a winter jacket by February 17th, they're probably doing something wrong. But they're not quite ready for the most part to start buying summertime stuff, right? They're not thinking about swim trunks and all that sort of thing yet. eBay first, Tej says. Well, you got it. All right, so let's get crack-a-lacking. We'll get right into this. I'm going to do a little shared screen action here for you so you can follow along and see the items that sold as I ship them out. So let's go ahead and bring up the shared screen. This always takes me a second, but I got it. Okay. All right. If you're watching on Instagram, sorry. I don't know if it's working, and it's not showing me like any kind of like live feed, or I can't see any chats or whatever. But if you're over on YouTube or Facebook, I can talk with you. Feel free to ask questions. I love that. All right, so you can follow. Oh, that's that was Poshmark. We're starting with eBay. Let's see. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm hiding like the buyer's information and all that stuff. But you can see the items. You can see how much they sold for, and you can see the photo anyway. So let's get rocking. So first one is going to Antonio. Antonio, this is a brand you probably haven't heard of. We'll kick it right off with that. The brand is NRS. So this is a whitewater brand. You can see the logo right there. So this is what they call a hydro skin. This is a, what's the word? Like a wetsuit top. So you'd wear this for kayaking or whitewater rafting. So this is a big thing, big sport out here in Asheville area is whitewater rafting and whitewater kayaking. So this actually had some like like some fade marks and some wear on it. But this is, people wear this as a piece of gear. This isn't something that they're going to wear out like as a fashion piece. So I knew it would sell pretty quick, even though it had that little bit of wear. It is going to Verona, Virginia. It sold for $21.99. I paid $5 at a thrift store for this. That was just 2 weeks ago. So nice. And it wasn't even listed until I think Thursday. So this thing sold in like 3 days. So we'll get this packed and shipped out here. So this is going to Antonio. I don't even know what NRS stands for. I should know what NRS stands for. Maybe somebody will Google it and let me know. What does NRS stand for? But that's a brand to look out for if you find something that's NRS. It's like a wetsuit type of thing. You probably found yourself something that's worth reselling. This is a men's size medium. Again, this is a piece of gear. So even if it's in a little bit rough shape, it could still be a piece that somebody's going to spend money for. And this one did have some fading and just some wear spots on it. So $22 plus $8.95 shipping. The buyer's all in for $30 on this piece right here. Welcome in, welcome in. Where's my chat? Tell Kim hello. Let's see. Kim T says hello. Hi. She says hi. I don't know if you can hear that, but she says hello. Why is my chat looking all weird? Okay. So first one out the door, paid $5, sold for $22 plus $8.95 shipping. That's going in a 9x12 poly mailer. Easy cheesy. And I purchased all these shipping labels right through eBay. You can see the items I sold right there, follow along on the screen. Next one up is a Mizzen in Maine. I've actually never found, I've bought and sold a lot of Mizzen in Maine. I really like this brand. But you can see right above Mizzen in Maine, in the cursive, it says Phil Mickelson. And on the back, it has like his logo, like on the back chest right here. I can't show it to you because it's all bagged up. But I had never found one of those before. I didn't know that there was like a Phil Mickelson Mizzen in Maine line. But this one sold quick. This one took 2 weeks to sell, and it sold for $24.99 plus $5.95 shipping. So the buyer's all in for $31 on this one. Mizzen in Maine is a good brand to look out for, but I guess that Phil Mickelson Mizzen in Maine is worth looking out for. And this is a golf polo, short sleeve, moisture wicking, little polyester spandex piece. So definite summertime item. This is going to Lake Barrington, Illinois. It's got to be cold up there right now, but Michael's already buying his golf polos for the season. I'm here for it. Actually, the next piece is a polo, short sleeve polo also, interestingly enough. So thank you, Michael. We got stuff going all over the country. We got more Illinois. We got Ohio. Clearwater, Florida is the next one. Thank you, Michael. Did a whole bunch of eBay orders and actually a really healthy amount of Poshmark orders for the weekend. You heard one in from Casa Grande, currently 52 on its way to 75. Nice little day out there. That's awesome. When I first left the house this morning, the real feel was 9 degrees. And the last time I looked, it was like 13. It's warming up now, but that was at like 8 in the morning. It was like real feel 13, which is really cold for Asheville and really cold for this time of year. The wind was just whipping when we went out. We had to pick up a rental car this morning and drop our car off at the shop because way back in September, when we had the tree fall on our house during the hurricane, that tree that landed on our house also like broke off big branches on the front of the house, and one of those big branches landed on the side of our car. So we just never got around to fixing it. We had so many things going on, but we finally got the car in the body shop and we picked up a rental car today. So we were out early doing that, running around, and we went out and got breakfast today too. That's the benefit of Kim being off for the holiday and me just doing my own thing. I don't take advantage of it a lot, but took advantage of it today and went out and had a nice little breakfast at Abuela's Kitchen on Long Shoals Drive, if you care. But I like your weather better. I got a really busy week this week. I got a lot of moving parts. Next up, I'll tell you about that as we go along. Next up, Polo Ralph Lauren, brand new in tags. You can see the retail on this is $125. This sold, you can see it right there on the screen, $74. Plus the buyer paid $5.95 shipping for this. This is going to Clearwater, Florida. This is a special kind of unique piece. It's got the triple pony. I use the keywords triple pony. You can see it right there on the screen. I also use the keywords equestrian. Sometimes I see people use the keyword stampede for these shirts too. Great little seller here. I paid $30 for this. It sold for $74, brand new with tags. It's going to Brian in Clearwater. They probably got nicer weather than us in Clearwater today. You know, I like the mountain weather, but I do like Florida weather this time of year for sure. The wintertime in Florida, I love. I can't take the heat though in the summertime. I'm not built for that. We did it for a couple of years, and it ain't our thing. So nice little sale right there. Out the door. If you have any questions about shipping, about reselling, about brands, about what to look for, drop them down below in the chat. I'm here for it. That's my favorite part. If you're watching on Instagram, which I think the feed might be working, sorry I won't be able to see your chats or read them, but you can come over to YouTube or Facebook. And same name, @Chris@Peak. I have links in my profile or whatever. Let me see if I am actually on Instagram. I don't even know. No, I guess not. For some reason, it glitched out and didn't work. Oh, well. Next up is for Eric. Ralph Lauren. I know a lot of people pass on these. So Lauren, Ralph Lauren. I see I'm in like some reseller groups, like Facebook groups and stuff. And I see a lot of people talking about like giving the advice to pass on these Lauren, Ralph Laurens. Look, you do you. Whatever works for you, it works for you. But I do pick up a lot of these. You can see this one's got like a herringbone plaid, like kind of herringbone check pattern to it. So I use the keyword herringbone. It's a good size too, 46L, 100% wool. Nothing super fancy here, but this herringbone pattern does do pretty well for me historically. This sold for $39.60. This is actually a Nifty sale. So Nifty sent somebody liked this item, and then 20 minutes later, Nifty came back and sent them a 10% off offer. So that way it's kind of like recovering. It's almost like when you put something in your cart for Amazon or for another site, right? And they come back and and you don't buy it, right? And they come back and say, hey, do you want this thing? And that's what I do with Nifty. I have it set up so 20 minutes after that person hits the like button and then goes along their day, they're probably not going to buy it, or they might buy from somebody else. It gives them that 10% offer to come on back and get that item. So that was from Nifty. If you want to learn more about Nifty, if you have questions about Nifty, it's my cross lister. It's also my automation tools. I have it linked right down below in the description of this live. You can go to that link. You can do a free trial through that link, and you can also get 15% off your first month with that link. I've been using Nifty since last April, and it's like stuff like this where overnight it's doing work for me and getting me sales that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten. So $39.60 plus $9.95 shipping on this blazer. I paid $7 for it. It's one of my better profit items of the weekend, and Nifty took care of it for me. So, hey, this business is a hustle. Any way that you can get some little advantages or have like software do some of the work for you, I think is huge. And all of you know I've been cross-listing. Most of you probably know I've been cross-listing for about 4 years now. And Nifty is the best cross-lister I've used. I've used a handful of them over the years. And I switched to this back last April. I didn't talk about it a lot. I really wanted to test it first, and I was waiting for them to come out with a couple of features before I really wanted to endorse it. And now that those features came out last summer until last fall, I was comfortable starting to endorse the product. But I've been using it all the way since April, and I'm very happy with it. This is going out to Eric in Sunbury, Ohio. Welcome in. What's up, Terry? Enjoying some Peak coffee this morning. Nice, Nick. I appreciate your support there. I'm actually drinking some, this is a little special roast that I got from Dynamite that they gave to me a couple weeks ago. This is a geisha is the style of coffee. It's something that I've never had before. Every now and again, they'll throw something unique at me for, I don't know, being a cool customer, being a good partner. and Dynamite threw this geisha at us, and it's actually really, really good. I didn't know that Kim made it this morning, and I was sipping it like 20 minutes ago before I went live, and I was like, what? Which roast is this, Kim? I don't recognize this. And she's like, oh, it's that special one from Dynamite. I was like, no freaking way. It's delicious. If you want to get yourself some coffee too and be cool like Nick and I, you can go ahead. There's a link down below right to the site, or you can go to chris@peak.com. But below this live in the description, you can go to their coffee site. Get yourself some delicious coffee. It's roasted fresh every Thursday. If you order some right now, we'll ship it out right here on the live with a big dose of gratitude. All our coffee is organic. It's fair trade and roasted fresh every Thursday, which means it is super fresh. It's going to be super tasty. You're going to smell it as you walk to to your mailbox. You're going to smell, you'll smell the difference, and you'll definitely taste the difference too. Before you even get to the mailbox, you're going to smell that coffee because it's just so darn fresh. Back to clothing. Wrangler. A lot of people say don't pick up Wrangler. I do really well with this Wrangler Retro. This took 8 days to sell. Wrangler Retro. You can see the pattern on here. So this is a modern Wrangler, but what the Retro, they've just done, taken a lot of their popular, vintagey looking patterns from over the years, and they re-released them. These don't sell brand new for a lot of money either. I think they sell for $30. This one sold for $18. Plus $5.95 shipping. I'm not getting rich off this. I paid $5 for it. I'm probably going to make $10 profit on it. But to flip this in 8 days is great. I haven't even technically paid for this item yet. It's on the credit card, and I pay the credit card bill off. This credit card bill won't be due till March the 15th. So I'm using the bank's money to make money on this one. Not a ton of profit, but fills the cart and then fills this bin behind me. So we keep the money flowing. This is going internationally through eBay's international shipping program, or whatever they call it now. So I'm shipping this to Glendale Heights, Illinois, to the eBay facility, and they're going to take it from there. So nice and easy. And this is going to Pierre. Thanks, Pierre. I love the Wrangler Retro pieces too. If that was my size, I probably would have had that hanging in my closet while it was for sale, but I'm a large. This is an extra large. Welcome in. Say hello down below in the chat. If you haven't hit that like button, that helps me out too. And if you haven't followed or subscribed, we're Chris@Peak on all platforms: eBay, Poshmark, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. All your favorite social medias. We are Chris@Peak. There's links down below on my website, chris@peak.com. So all those too, to make it nice and easy. Lancelot has got an order. This item took a while to sell. Actually had a couple over the past few days that took a while to sell from G4. This item I picked up just over a year ago, late January. So we're talking 1 year and 3 weeks. This item was in inventory. I probably could have sold it a lot faster if I priced it a little bit lower. I had it priced at $130. I finally took an offer on this one for $95. Went back and forth with this buyer a little bit. I think they started at $85, got them up to $95. $95 plus $8.95 shipping. I paid $40 for this piece and flipped it for $95. I thought I could get a little bit more. The retail price is $250, and this one's 100% wool. It's called the Dunnis Gillette Tech Liner Quarter Zip. That's a little pro tip too. Whenever I find retail arbitrage, if it doesn't have a model name right here on this manufacturer tag, I look for a style number, and I just Googled G4, which is the brand, and then I just typed in that style number, and that brought me to a website that had this for sale that had the actual, the style name for it, which is Dunnis Gillette Tech Liner Quarter Zip Sweater. So I put that right into my listing there, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to attract people who are going to looking for this on websites on Google, and then they use those same search terms in eBay or in Google, and can come right through to my listing and find the same item. So That's a little pro tip. What helps me get usually I'm able to get a little bit more money than my competition because I take that extra step to get that model name in there. So it's showing up in those buyers who are looking to pay like $250 for this, or maybe they're going to get it for 30% off at some retailer online, and they're going to get it for whatever $190, and then they see my listing on eBay and they can get it for $95. They're going to eat that up. So that's a little pro tip that I've been using, and I think it helps me get a little bit higher prices than a lot of my competition. You can do that with used clothing, by the way, too. A lot of the more modern brands on the inside of the shirt, they'll have a little, on that materials tag that's down here. Oftentimes they'll have a style name or a style number that you can look up, and if you use the style number, you can find the style name, and that'll help your listing show up to those people who are looking for that specific item, or they're looking, they're looking at full price competition. And you can come in with a much more aggressive price on eBay, and they'll eat it up. You'll get more than your competitors. Next up is an order for Sharon. This is the third time this freaking shirt has sold. It's an Indian Madras Polo Ralph Lauren, both new and used. It's good to look out for the Indian Madras. They usually get a little bit more money than just the regular Ralph Laurens. This one, I think it's Madras. I don't know how you're supposed to say that, but Madras. And this one has a MSRP of $148. It sold for $69.99. So this buyer basically got it for 50% off. The last two times it got returned because for one time it was for buyer just didn't like it, and the other time was it didn't fit. So hopefully this time it doesn't boomerang back again. It's a pretty shirt, but I don't want to see you again, brother. Get out of here. Get out of here and don't come back. This is going to Alabama. Sharon, don't return this shirt. For the love of God, do not return this shirt again. I don't want to see it again. Returns are part of the game, but boy, they can be annoying sometimes. And if you think eBay returns are annoying, wait till you start selling on Amazon. My gosh, there's so many returns on Amazon. It's wild. Next up is a G4. I sold 158 G4 shirts in 2024. I looked that up yesterday. I don't know why. There's a G4 brand new with tags. This one sold for $49. I had a whole bunch of this in size large. Like I probably had 12 of these, and I think I have like 4 of them left that I picked up last summer. So $49 out the door on this one, $5.95 shipping. I paid $29 a piece on these. And again, like it's not a ton of margin on this one item, but because I bought a whole bunch of them, it can just do one round of photos, one round of measurements, and set the quantity to 12 and just let these sell off. I mean, every time one of these sells for say $49 in this case, I'm making $10. Some of them are selling for more like 55, 59, but in that case, I'm making like 15 or $20. But every time this sells, it's $10. So for me, I would rather sell 12 items that I paid $29 a piece for, that each sold for $49. I'd rather do that than one item that I buy for $5 and sell for $50. I'd rather sell the 12 on that one listing. That's just my opinion. It's just more money. Next up is Craig. Craig got him a Tommy Bahama. Took about 3 months to sell. Tommy Bahama. This is a quarter zip Pima cotton, men's size large. Nothing fancy here. I've picked these up a lot over the years. I don't find them as much around this area, but I used to find them more down in Florida. This one sold for $24 plus $8.95 shipping. I paid $5 at a thrift store. Profit on this is going to end up being about $15. And this is going to Santa Ana, California. Thank you, Craig. Just sold a pair of pants on eBay. all these orders are going out USPS ground. There is no ship. Post office is closed today for President's Day, so these will all get picked up tomorrow by my postal worker. So I don't have to go nowhere, nothing. I leave them out front. They pick them up every afternoon. Good morning, Bethany. Hope you're well. Didn't see you walk in, but I see you now. Next up, we're going to switch over to Poshmark sales. And you can follow along there right on the right side of the screen. Let's make that a little bigger. Eek. Stretch you out a little bit. Cool. All right. So first up this is actually the last order that came in the door this morning. So we're working backwards. This is a Roan. Good brand to resell. It doesn't sell for as much money as it once did. A lot of these younger brands that come out in the scene, they're really, really hot and everybody wants them and they don't really have wide distribution. So then they have some success and then they start increasing their distribution. They become easier to get. You find them on sale now at clearance and stuff because there's a whole bunch of them now. They're available everywhere. And that's what happens. It's pretty common. It happened with Roan. Happens with a lot of brands. Mizzen and Maine is another example of that. Young brands that get hot and then they cool off after a little while. Bad Birdie is another example of that. We could probably go on and on with that conversation. If you have any of those in mind, let me know. This is a men's size small. This is a long sleeve polo. This sold for $26, and this is used. I paid $5 at a thrift store. It sold for $26 on Poshmark. So after fees on this, I'll make about $16. While Poshmark goes USPS priority, the buyer pays for shipping $7.99 is what they pay. And that's flat rate up to 5 pounds. So we actually did get one Mercari order over the weekend. That's my first Mercari order in 11 days. I don't think I have to share my opinion on Mercari these days, given that last statement. First order in 11 days on Mercari. With over, I don't know, probably 1,200 items listed, 1,100 items listed on there. Pretty crazy. All right, this is going to Allie. Allie is in Ohio. Nice little Roan polo. Roan's like one of those athleisure brands. It's really similar to, I would say, in style to Lululemon. All right, next up, we got a Polo Ralph Lauren. This is actually another Nifty sale as well. So Nifty is my cross lister and my automation tool. So it sent an automatic offer to this buyer 20 minutes after they liked the item on Poshmark. Nifty came in and sent them an offer automatically for 10% off because that's what I set it up to do in the automation tool. And so it sent an offer for $18. This is listed for $20, sent them an offer for $18, and it sold. It could have happened while I was sleeping. I don't remember. But either way, it made me money, and I didn't have to do anything. That buyer, once they like an item and go on their way, their likelihood of coming back and buying that item is really, really low. That's why a lot of, if you look in, like, start reading, if you watch anybody who does like e-commerce on social media and they talk about like e-commerce trends and things to do, like you'll often talk about abandoned carts is what they refer to it a lot in e-commerce. You put something in your cart and then you didn't complete the checkout process, and they have all these tools and widgets to try and strategies to try to get people to actually buy because you had someone who was interested enough to put it in their cart, but you didn't close the deal. So you want to do everything you can to close that deal. And I think the automation tools with Nifty, that automatic offer, is the same thing. Somebody liked the item and then they went on their day with their day. They may never look at that item again. And then 20 minutes later, boom, they get that offer. And in this case, it closed the deal. So Polo Ralph Lauren, men's size large. This is going out to Amber. Thank you, Amber. If you want to learn more about Nifty or you want to do a free trial, there's a link down below in the description of this live. Click that link, sign up for your free trial, check it out. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Been using it since April. It makes me money every day. I think I did a post over the weekend, and I looked up, I did the numbers. Nifty in the month of February paid for itself and was already like making me money after paying for its monthly subscription. Paid for itself on day 3. So on February 3rd, Nifty was already paid for. That left 25 days in February that Nifty is paid for and is just doing work for me. It's making cross-listing super simple, and it's also that automation tools where it's sharing items, it's sending offers, it's delisting and relisting, so my items show up higher in searches, which gets me more sales. A lot of people say, like, I can't afford a cross-lister. I'm like, mine paid for itself in 3 days. And now I got 25 days left in February for that thing to make money. So check it out. Link down below. That link's also at chris@peak.com. You get a free trial. And if you like it, it'll get 15% off your first month. Next up is a pair of Lucky jeans. You know, I used to buy and sell these a lot more frequently. I've become more picky with them, and I just don't find them as much here in the Asheville area. I found them more in Florida, and I found them more in Colorado. Lucky brand, 410 athletic fit, resold for $23, full asking price on Poshmark. I don't really buy and sell a ton of the Lucky brand anymore. I feel like it's really similar to Levi's in terms of sell-through rate and average sale price. But I just don't find them as much as I used to. Let's go at Steven. You know, I should probably look into it a little more. I bet you there's some models that just tend to sell better than others. I don't know if the 410 is or not. I buy and sell a ton of Levi's. I just don't find as many of the Lucky brands. But really, really similar in terms of sell-through rate and average sale price in my experience. Putting this in a padded flat rate envelope. I like doing that for jeans and sweatshirts. They just seem to fit nice for my Poshmark orders, of course. Not for eBay. I use Ground Advantage for eBay. This is a good find. Never mind, you answered me. What was the name of your listing service again? I have another one now, but it's been having some bugs. Let me know what your other one that you're working with, Bethany. I'm curious. And I can probably speak to like pros and cons, maybe compare it a little bit. For automatic offers, how much do you discount from original price? I do 10%, JB. In the past, I've done 15%. I've kind of gone back and forth between 10 and 15. But I have a lot of retail arbitrage items. Like items that I spent like $30 or $40 for that I'm trying to sell for like $70 or $80. So the 15% off like an $80 item, you know, that's $12 off. So now it's pushing it down to like 68, which can be tough. I do the 10% just because I'm like 50-50 at this point, retail arbitrage and thrifted. So when I have those high cost items, I have to manage that margin a little bit. The 15 might be a little bit too much. Okay, Bethany, I was a Vendoo user, and I used to be an affiliate for Vendoo, and they paid me to create videos about the product. And I love Vendoo. I signed up for it first in 2021. So I actually was like pretty early on in the Vendoo game and watched them. And I know the folks over at Vendoo, Josh, Maria, some of the other folks over there. They're good people. It's a good product. And I enjoyed working with them for years. But Nifty is just a better solution for my business. The auto delist and relist on eBay is a game changer. I used to sit every day. I used to delist and relist bulk 10 items or 15 items, depending on where I was at for inventory. I'd do that every day. It would take me like 2 minutes, but I had to like spend that time doing it. But then when I switched over to Nifty, one of the big reasons I did that is because they offered the auto delist and relist on for eBay, which was huge. It just gives me back a little bit of time. It's one less thing on my to-do list, and it just sort of does it throughout the course of the day. It's just boom, it's automatic. Great. It was one more thing off my list. It also sends automatic offers on eBay for 10% off. If you were here a little bit ago, Bethany, you saw like one of my items sold because somebody hit the like button on that item, and Nifty sent them a 10% off offer 20 minutes later, right? That person already walked away, went along with their day. They ain't going to buy that item now. They probably forgot it even existed, or maybe they're going to buy from somebody else. and then they get that 10% offer, and they're like, you know what? I like the item at $25. I like it even better at 22. I'm going to go ahead and buy that item. So you're always fighting, today in this world, you're fighting for people's attention. That's the hardest thing to get. So once you get their attention once, you don't want to let them off the hook. So that's a big reason I changed from Vendoo over to what was called Autoposher, and now they've rebranded to Nifty, because they have eBay, Poshmark, Depop, Mercari, and now they have Etsy. So they changed their name because they started with Poshmark, but now they're on 5 platforms. So this is a really good find. Happy to talk more about Nifty. I really like the product, and I do think it's in a number of ways it's better than Vendoo. The automation tools are just sort of a no-brainer. What I used to do when I had Vendoo is I paid for that, and then I paid for another service. I'm going to forget the name of it. I paid for automation tools, and I'd used those tools for like 3 years. And those 2 subscriptions cost me more than what my Nifty subscription cost me now. So shifting to Nifty actually saved me money, and it's better because I don't have to log into 2 different things and rely on 2 different services. It does automation, and it does it does the cross listing all together in one thing. It's just so much smoother. It saves me so much time, and it's a cheaper solution. It's crazy. How was the conversion from Vendoo to Nifty? Nick, super easy, because the shift to Nifty, unlike the other platforms, Nifty uses AI. So when you first log in and you connect it to the 3 platforms, you create your account, you connect Mercari. I think you're on Mercari. I think you're on Depop too, but you connect Mercari, Depop, eBay, and Poshmark. What Nifty does is it goes through into those 4 platforms, and it finds all your items, and it brings them in automatically. So you don't have to go and tell it stuff. It goes and finds those items, and then it's going to ask you to sort of connect all those items. So it will, through its AI and through recognizing the same item title and the same photos, it's going to say, hey, this item on Mercari is the same as this one on eBay, which is the same as this one on Poshmark, which is the same as this one on Depop. Do you want to link these 4 so that when one sells, it takes it down from the other 3 platforms? And you just click yes, and you just roll through and you do that. Yes, 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 yes. So the AI loads everything in for you. And what you'll find if you're on Vendoo, Nick Smith, I guarantee this will happen, is it's going to find a whole bunch of duplicate listings through that process too. It's going to find items that you thought you had cross-listed onto other platforms, but you didn't. And it's going to find all that stuff for you. And you're going to go out into your inventory, and you're going to be like, dang, it found items I didn't know I had anymore. And geez, I didn't realize this wasn't cross-listed. And geez, this is listed 3 times, on Mercari. Why are there 3 listings of this in Mercari? It's because it has that AI tool which goes in and finds all that information, which is huge. It's the easiest one to switch to. I used to say, make the right choice with your cross lister the first time, because if you try to change after, it's a huge pain, because you have to go in and load all the items back in and you have to copy the URLs from Mercari and from Poshmark, copy those URLs into the platform to tell the platform where the item is. And so I was like, you got to get it right. You got to make the right choice with your cross-listing software the first time, because otherwise you're going to spend a ton of time, changing from one to the next. That's not the case with Nifty. Nifty is going to go and find all the AI is going to do the work. It's crazy. It's a super easy shift. A shift will take you time. It won't be a 0 time sort of thing, and you'll have to there's a learning curve to anything, but it's going to be way less time than you're probably thinking. This is a great find at a thrift store. Under Armour, brand new at tags, 3XL. This is a great time of year to be finding golf polos too, because golf polos have already really started selling well for me. It usually picks up mid-February, but they've been selling all February for me pretty well. When March hits, golf polos just go nuts. It's like wildfire, especially when you get to March 15th, they go crazy. Great time of year to find golf polos, but especially brand new at tags. We got a $50 retail on this Under Armour. I paid $5 for it. It sold over the weekend. I think I listed this on Friday, and it sold on Saturday. So a 1-day sale on this. $5. It sold for $27, and buyer pays shipping on Poshmark. So really easy money there. I'll make $5, 22. I'll make $17 on this, and I literally picked this up middle of last week, and it's already gone. And I don't pay that credit card bill until March the 15th. So I like it. Under Armour, and this is going for, I sell a lot of Under Armour on Amazon, so I'm always I pay attention to more Under Armours than probably most folks that aren't selling on Amazon. Under Armour is a good seller on Amazon, so I pick up on it on Under Armour. I pick up on Columbia. I pick up on Lee, because those are items that sell really well on Amazon. So my radar is really tuned into those items, more so than it used to be before I sold on Amazon. Gotta switch the tape out. And Bethany, or Nick, let me know if you have more questions, like specifically about Nifty or the conversion or all that stuff. Nick, I think you probably know that that for me to endorse it, I got to really like it, and I got to truly believe that it's going to be good for other folks. The other thing that's big, Nick, too, and this is the reason I wasn't endorsing it for a little while. I really wanted them to have a good solution for multi-quantity listings. As you know, I do a lot of retail arbitrage, which means I'll buy one item, size large, in the color red, and I'll get 4 units of that same item. None of the cross listers handle multi-quantity listings well at all. So when I first joined up with Autoposher, which is now Nifty, and I was talking to their owner, Neha, I was talking to her about how important that the multi-quantity is to me, because half of my business is items that I have. Well, probably a third of my business is items that I have multi-quantity on, and none of these platforms handle it well. So, we talked about it, and she put together a beta for multi-quantity handling. And so I was on that beta. I don't know who else was on it, if anyone else was on it, and was giving her feedback about how it functioned early on. This was last summer. And finally, she got it right, worked out all the kinks, and man, it is awesome. I'll have 7 units of like that G4 Polo. 1 will sell. It adjusts. So now I have 6, and it adjusts all those other platforms down to 6. It's sick. And Mercari, as you probably know, doesn't have multi-quantity. You can't put multi-quantity. So it just keeps track of it in Autoposher. And then once Autoposher knows I'm down to 0, it just delists, it keeps putting it back up on Mercari, if that makes sense. And then when it gets to 0, it just takes it back, takes it back down. It's sick. That was a real game changer for me, because I would oftentimes sell out, or something would be multi-quantity. I'd sell it, and then it would be taken down by another cross lister, and then I didn't know it, and I'd still have 5 more units of that thing, and it was a real pain, and it was costing me money. But now, it would make errors. Anyway, it's better. It's huge. I recently noticed that Depop photo limit is at, oh, nice. They changed it. It used to be 4, right? I don't sell on Depop anymore, JB. Do you like Depop? I think I stopped selling on Depop in summer of 2023, so almost 2 years ago. I dropped Depop at that point. I dropped Grailed at that point. I dropped Mercari at that point. I've since picked it back up, but Depop was 5% of my sales per month, and became not really worth the extra time and energy. There's a lot of like offers that never get paid for. It just became more time than it was profit. So I gave up on Depop. Just wasn't a great fit for my business anymore. This is a crazy sale. This sold in less than 24 hours. I actually got a video made up about this, finding this, and I haven't even posted that video yet. This sold so quick. Posted this Saturday. It sold Saturday. $80. Ibex 100% wool. It's a men's kind of like mid to heavyweight merino wool vest. Solid black. The model, which I looked up. Oh, I thought I put the model in the listing. I messed that up. But anyway, it sold for $80. I had it listed for $89, and this was actually a Nifty auto sale too. So it sent out a 10% offer to this buyer, and this buyer bought it. So that's awesome. Super quick sale. $80. I paid $6.99 for this at a thrift store. So $7 into $80. My profit on this, that'll be $16 off that. That's $64. So I profit on this $57. $57 profit after fees and shipping on that piece. And I picked that up
I picked that up on Thursday. So the story behind this is I went to this thrift store by me on Wednesday. Didn't really get many items. I got like 14 items. I usually go there once a week. On my way home on Thursday, I just had an inclination that I wanted to stop by that thrift store again. It's close to my house. I was driving by it. I was like, you know what? They've been stocking really well lately. They've been like, their staff has been really committed to like putting out new inventory. I'm like, I'm going to stop by real quick and see if I can pick up like a couple of money pieces that are like fresh stocked. I got 15 pieces and I had just gone through that whole store, like did a full shop the day before and got 14. And it was like maybe 28 hours later, 29 hours later, I went and got 15 items and I didn't even do a full shop. I just kind of like skimmed through and tried to find like the fresh stuff. And this Ibex was there. Probably paid for almost my whole haul just on this one sale. This is one of my finds of the week last week. And it was like on a total on the whim. Like I never go to that store twice in a week. I might have gone to that store twice in a week, maybe once in two plus years living back here. Maybe once. And this was the second time that I've done it. And I ended up getting this. I got a Lululemon hoodie too. It'll probably sell for I listed it for like $60. So just those two pieces alone made that stop worth it. But I got 13 other pieces just totally on a whim, just like intuition. I don't know whatever happened there. I am still doing Amazon surfs. I think I had a slow weekend on Amazon. I had a couple of FBA sales. I had no FBMs. Last 30 days, I have 63 units sold on Amazon. I recently noticed, I do believe sale. I do few sales. Sold a new pullover ski jacket at full asking price. Nice, not bad, but not too many sales through on Depop. Gotcha. Surfs, are you doing Depop still? Is that still a thing? And what percentage of your sales per month would you, if you don't have the number, you probably do. What percentage of your sales is running through Depop? It was 5% a month. Some months would be 6%, but I never got more than 10% a month back when I sold on Depop, and I gave it up in, I think it was like June or July of 2023, so almost 2 years ago. We got more Posh sales. Here's a retail arbitrage item from a clearance from back in the summertime. I actually sold one of these just, I think I'm sold out of this now. I sold one of these a couple days ago. I paid $13 for this. It sold for $32 on Poshmark. Not huge profit, but that was a multi-quantity listing. You know I like those. List it once, one round of photos, one round of measurements. Set the quantity to 3. Let them sell. I'd rather sell 3 items on one listing for $10 profit each than to sell one item for $20 profit. Why not? It's more money, same amount of work. This is going out to Joe. Thank you, Joe. Joe's in Oceanside, California. I generally find that like yellow, there's exceptions to every sort of generalization like this, but I generally find like yellow and orange are not my best sellers. Those tend to be slower sales. There's exceptions to it. There's certain brands where people are looking for that sort of thing, but yellow and orange tend to be a slower seller thing. I think I had 3 Depop sales the entire time I've been on there. 2 years maybe. It's rough out there. Gosh, how many items do you have listed, Bethany? That's not many sales. I've had 1 Depop sale in 3 weeks out of 1,100 listings. Whew. Yo, thanks for being in here, Surfs. By the way, if you're not following Surfs Up Finds, I follow Surfs Up Finds and learn from him. So if that's a thumbs up or not, I'm not really sure how to say it better than that. I follow Surfs Up to learn, to help me grow my business, to learn brands, to learn items to look for, look for tips and tricks and stuff. I follow him for that stuff. So give him a follow. He's right down there in the chat. He's on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform you're on, he's on. And he's very active and does live shippings just like this. Give him a follow. Surfs, Mercari, where are you at with Mercari lately? I just had my first sale on Mercari in 11 days. And I'll pack that up here in a minute. First sale on Mercari in 11 days. I think that's my 4th sale on Mercari in February. It's a good sale, though. What's up next? Peter Millar, I paid $32 for this. It sold for $66. Took a little while to sell. I picked this up last summer. Sold for 66. Buyer pays for shipping. So profit on this is going to be 50 bucks. 53. Profit on this is going to be 21 bucks. Is my math right there? Yeah, 21 bucks profit on this Peter Millar. We're going to start seeing these pop off a little bit. I've actually sold, I was texting with somebody last night. I've actually sold, I think, 6 Peter Millar golf polos in the last 3 weeks. Like, they're starting to pick up. I actually don't have many left. I know a lot of people are hating on Peter Millar, and I get it. The market has slowed on Peter Millar. Those folks aren't wrong. But I'm almost sold out of my New Tags Peter Millar, and I buy a lot of New Tags Peter Millar, and they're really picking up. And once we get to March, we're going to see those rocking and rolling. Now, I am more selective about Peter Millar. I'm not being a dink here. And they don't tend to sell for as much money as they used to, and they don't sell as fast as they used to either. Those things are generally true, unless you get some like really cool patterns. I like a really unique pattern called the Cara Cara. It sold in like a week for really good money, and that just sold like a week ago. But it had like all over like fruit all over it. It's a pretty cool pattern. But there's always nuance. Actually, just sold a pair of Peter Millar pants since we've been live. It was on eBay. Sold for $80 a pair of khakis. Brand new with tags for 80 bucks. Thank you, Blake, out the door. Got a couple more. 2 more Poshmark. Nope, I'm done Poshmark. But we still got Mercari. Mercari, probably 5% of my sales this month so far. I'm going to stop the share screen right here so I can look at some numbers too. How do I drop this? I swear I've done this before. Boom. Hey, we're back. We're big. Mercari percentage of sales. I bet you're higher than me, brother. I've sold 4 units on Mercari this month. It's 1% of my sales. I have $104 in sales on Mercari, including this one I'm going to put out right now. Cool short sleeve shirt. Great seller for me. Historic. One of my personal favorite brands. I love Cool. Just outdoor brand with some cool casual style to it. It's not super techy. It's kind of, a lot of their stuff is a little bit more wearable, sort of everyday stuff. This Cool men's size something or other sold for $29, size large. It's got kind of like an all over, I don't know what you call it. It's almost like a polka dot kind of print, kind of subtle. $29 for this on Mercari. You know what I'm going to do? I'm shipping that Mercari order in an eBay bag. We're doing it. Just going to let this guy know. Listen. I can put it in one of those blue bags. It doesn't say eBay, but we're sending a point over there to Carl in Fort Worth, Texas. eBay is what's up. We're doing it. Where'd my chat go? Remember that time I had chat? There it is. Why is Mercari very slow with sales? There's theories as to why Mercari is slow with sales. They've done 2 big changes to their fee structure over the past year. First, they went to the buyer pays fees. So they took the fees away from the seller and they put them on the buyer. So whenever somebody was cashing out, they would see the shirt for $29, this Cool shirt, and then they would see a fee on top of it of another like $5. So people would be like, what the heck? So then they would just like make an offer for $5 less because they're like, I don't want to pay that fee, so I'll just dock it from the seller. So anyway, I think people got frustrated with that. So Mercari I guess they were having trouble with sales last year. So then at the beginning of this year, or I think it was like the first week of January, but they announced it back in December, but first week of January, they changed back. So now they're charging the seller fees again, but they still have a small fee for the buyer, which is crazy to me. So they acknowledged that selling, the idea that they changed it back to put fees back on the seller, to me, is an acknowledgement that, like, hey, charging the buyer fees doesn't make sense. But they still left a small fee on for the buyer with this change. So to me, it's kind of crazy. Like, if you're going to switch back the fees back to being on the seller, which is the way it should be, I think, then why do you still leave a small fee? Because now they have a line item on it. It's what I call an opportunity for an objection, right? It's a hesitation. Something's in somebody's cart and now they see a fee and they're like, well, why? I don't pay a fee for any other place I buy. I don't pay like a fee on Amazon. I don't pay a fee on Nike.com, wherever they're shopping, like Walmart.com. They don't see a fee, but on Mercari, they see a fee. So to me, every time they've created a system, they've systematically created an objection for the buyer to actually not check out, to not complete their checkout. And that to me is crazy. Like, I think this is at its core, it's bad business. And it's not even that big of a fee, but it's just like the point of it. A lot of people are just gonna be like a principal. Like, well, I'm not paying fees. Why would I pay fees? So to me, I think this is just my opinion. I don't speak for nobody else. I think that was, and they don't allow me in their conversations in their boardroom, right? Maybe they should, but they didn't, I don't have any inside information, but why would you acknowledge, why would you shift the fee back to the seller again, like it should be, but still leave a fee on the buyer? To me, it's crazy. You're acknowledging it didn't work, and now you're still doing it. It's just enough of a fee to like annoy the buyer, create a little bit of an objection, and some percentage of sales are never going to get cashed out. Not 100% of people are going to walk away, but if it's 1% of people walk away because they don't want to pay the fee, well, holy crap. I mean, that's a lot of sales. If a business like that lost 1% of their sales because of that, and I bet you it's more than 1%, but I'm just saying, why would you systemically do something that's going to create an objection for the buyer and lower your sales? Wild to me. Doesn't make any sense, but what do I know? I got one coffee sale I got to ship out too. One coffee sale. One coffee sale. We got the light roast. This is our seasonal light roast. This is the winter. It's going to have little hints of toffee and allspice. So it's going to just have like a little bit of a winter taste. Remember, this isn't flavored coffee. That's just a natural flavor that comes from the beans themselves and the roasting process. But delicious. And this is our first coffee that we've ever had from Bali, Bali, a beautiful island in Indonesia. And this coffee is delicious. If you like a light roast, something a little bit more mellow, this is it. This is it. And it's just delicious. Just got a little taste of winter to it. It's fair trade. It's organic. And this is a single origin coffee. So this comes from a single co-op of farms in Bali too. So this is like the best of the best in the coffee world. Elite coffee right here. There's my bag. Cigarette. And all our coffee is available in ground or whole bean. It's all available right down below. There's a link, or you can go to chris@peak.com. It says chris@peak.com right on the screen there. And you can type that in or just click the direct link. If you order it now while we're live, we'll ship it out with a big dose of gratitude, handwritten thank you card, all that stuff. You know it. We also have a medium roast, and we have a dark roast if that's more your thing too. If you've never tried our coffee before and you're like, I don't even know if I want a medium roast or a dark roast or a light roast, or I don't know what to order, the answer probably is the medium roast. It is the most balanced cup of coffee. Nobody will ever take a sip of that coffee and be like, I don't like this. It's just very smooth. It's got a subtle sweetness to it and a little hint of that milk chocolate, which gives it that sweetness. And it is just nobody would ever object to that cup of coffee. It's Kim and I's daily driver. It is my favorite cup of coffee that's ever existed. That's the whole reason why we partnered with this roaster, is because it was our favorite coffee and we drank it every single day. And then we got this partnership and they're like, yeah, you can sell that coffee too. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, yeah, let's go. And again, that's available chris@peak.com. If you want to get some right now, you can get some right now. I'm going to print a shipping label for this one. This is going to Florida. Let's see. I can do this, I swear. Yes, it's insane. Fees need to be seller only.
it was cool while it lasted. Believe me, I liked selling things on Mercari and getting charged no fees. It was awesome. But the reality is that most people would see that their fee was $8, so they would make an offer for $8 less. People aren't stupid. Well, not everybody is. I ship my Amazon FBM and eBay supplies Saturday. That I don't do. I'm not scolding you. I get it. That I'm a little bit more careful with Amazon orders. I feel like when people order from Amazon, they think they're ordering like from Amazon. I don't think most people understand that it's coming from folks like you and I, right? And so I try to maintain that as much as possible. I don't put any of my own branding on anything. I don't put my stickers on there that go to my website. I don't put handwritten thank you cards in there. I just put the packing slips from Amazon in there. And I don't use the eBay supplies. But that's just me. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just sharing my thought process on why I do that. I just feel like people, if somebody orders from Amazon and they see eBay, that feels kind of like a downgrade in brand, They're like, well, what's going on here? So I'm just careful about that. But as far as Mercari and eBay, I feel like they're the same type of shopper, So I don't think that really matters. All right, we are all shipped out. Thanks everyone for hanging out for a little bit. I got one more order, but I'm going to ship that out tomorrow. So Kim and I are leaving here in a few minutes, or maybe like a half hour. Look out for this. We're going to go up to East Asheville to a friend of mine's neighborhood. I used to work with her at University of North Carolina, Asheville. Her name is Mary Lynn. And Mary Lynn, her neighborhood got destroyed by the Shenandoah River and the hurricane. And we got talk. I hadn't talked to her in years, and we got back in touch about a month ago. And she had told me about the story of what's going on with her and her neighborhood. I think there's 13 homes. My numbers might be off. I still haven't recorded this, but I'm going to go down there and capture the story today. I think there's 13 homes in her neighborhood in her HOA. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it, brother. You too. And they all got damaged or they're all like gutted, like in gutted situations. I think only one of the families is currently living in the homes out of 13. And their biggest issue is that they're right on the banks of the Shenandoah River. And the Shenandoah River messed up the banks, like right where their homes are, right where their neighborhoods is. So it messed up like the road, and like they're all in a waiting game because they need somebody to go fix the banks. Like they need like the riverbed, like the riverbanks need to be repaired before they're comfortable going in and repairing their homes. So these homes are gutted, drywall. I mean, you've seen some of my videos. The insulation's all out. The drywall's cut. The floors are out. There's, the kitchens are out. All the furniture is out and ruined and all that stuff. These houses are glorified sheds right now, and they literally aren't rebuilding. They've done the demo work, but they aren't rebuilding because they need to wait to see like if the ground that they're building on is stable, because the river is right next to the neighborhood and, wrecked to the banks. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to go record this today, and I'm going to meet with two of Mary Lynn's neighbors and capture their stories and hear about their experience with the storm and just hear about their situation like right now. I don't think I talked to a friend of mine in Colorado, Dan, over the weekend. We talked, was it Thursday night or it was Thursday night? We spoke on the phone. I hadn't talked to him in a few months. And, he was shocked at what I was telling him, like the situation. I'm like, there's still tens of thousands of people who aren't moved back into their homes yet in Western North Carolina. And he's like, I didn't realize that. Like, I thought you had a storm, things got wrecked, things got repaired, and like things were back to normal. He's like, I guess I just didn't really think it through, and that's not really, that doesn't really make sense. But he's like, gosh, I didn't realize it. I was like, yeah, right down the street from us, we're working with 11 families. That's the folks that the $44,000 that you helped us raise is going to those 11 families down the street. Like 2 of those 11 families are moved back in their house. 9 of them are still sleeping on people's couches, sleeping in people's basements, sleeping with family, friends, sleeping in a camper in their front yard, sleeping in an RV, sharing an RV with another friend, like that kind of stuff. Staying in hotels. There's still people that we know staying in hotels. So anyway, I'm going to go film this story. I made a commitment to you to continue to tell the story, and the story is still ongoing, and it's still going to be ongoing for a long, long time. And for me, filming this stuff is important too, because, even though I'm living this and it's around me and we filmed all these stories, and there's a lot of film that I've taken that I haven't even shared with you before. we're in this. We've seen this. We've felt this, and it's still wild to see this stuff in February. Like, I know that this video that I'm going to record today is going to be tough to record. Hearing the stories is going to be tough to listen to. I just know it because we've heard it over and over. But this one's a little unique because they're literally in a holding pattern. These families, they're not doing anything with their homes, as far as I understand, in terms of rebuilding, because they're waiting to see if the ground is stable, if the riverbank is stable. Like, isn't that wild? And we're now, let's see, in 10 days, it'll be a full 5 months. Is that right? It'll be a full 5 months in 10 days. October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, because it was September the 27th. So, and it's the 17th right now. So, yeah, I'm not sharing this with you as shock and awe, but just sort of, just this is the reality. And I think it's I feel a responsibility to share that reality. And I'm not sure if we're going to do fundraising with these videos or not. That's really up to the families. I'm comfortable with it if they want to do it, but I don't know if I'm going to do one of those fundraising pleas or not. That's totally their call. But the most important thing for sure is just to share this awareness. Like, hey, Western North Carolina, like, real people, real families are still in really bad spots. My friend Mary Lynn won't be there today for the filming. We had this scheduled for 2 different days last week, but one day the weather was pouring rain and in the 30s, so we weren't going to be able to film that day. We rescheduled for Friday, and then they're literally using their neighborhood as like a training for first responders, like for like water rescue stuff, and they're using their neighborhood. They were doing that on Friday, so we had, they didn't want anybody else there. They wanted them to clear the area, that sort of stuff. So I'm like, I guess that's not a day that we should probably film in the neighborhood too, because there was going to be like 20 emergency trucks and stuff there. So Mary Lynn is staying in the eastern part of the state, like something like 4 hours away, even though her home is here in Asheville. She couldn't afford to do double rent, pay her mortgage. She's still paying her mortgage for her home that is unlivable right now. And she's paying rent for a apartment, but she was able to find a much cheaper rent out in the eastern part of the state. So that's what she's doing. She's like 4 hours away from her home right now. And so, yeah, she had to go back anyway, east. She was here for the last week, and then she had to go back home. So she's not going to be there for the filming of this one, but we'll probably do a follow-up story so my friend Mary Lynn could be part of that too. And hopefully that follow-up story in a month or so will be progress for this neighborhood. But there really hasn't been progress, and there's really not a lot of answers. They don't really know. There's no governing body for this. Who do you go to when the riverbed next to your house is all messed up? Who pays for that? You're talking about something that could be $1 million fix between the road and the river. Anyway, I don't know all the details. I just know what Mary Lynn has shared with me. I haven't seen any visuals yet of this neighborhood. I haven't seen photos. I haven't seen video. All I've seen is some emails and just the stories that Mary Lynn has told me. So I'm going to capture that story. Kim's going to come along with me. She's going to be second shooter for this, so we'll be able to do a dual camera video. Hopefully do an interesting edit with that and really share their story. So I had a buyer reach out and wants to do a local pickup on large eBay item. How do I handle this? How do I change the listing, shipping, and provide proof of pickup? Did they already purchase the item? That's the first question, Carrie. I haven't done this in a long time. The last time I did a pickup on an eBay order, I still lived in Denver. Somebody came and picked up. It was the drums for Guitar Hero, drums, and I think they got a guitar too, and they came and picked it up. But let me know, has the item already been purchased on eBay? And that'll help me answer your question moving forward. No, they did. I think you're meant to say no, they didn't purchase yet. Okay. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to change the item to local pickup, and so offer that local pickup on the listing, and then they'll make the purchase. And then what they're going to have to do, once they do the pickup, they're going to have to confirm that the item, that they picked up that item. And I forget how that exactly works, but you'll want to put the local pickup on if you're comfortable doing this too, right? Not everybody's comfortable doing a local pickup, right? You have to consider that there's some obvious, safety concerns or whatever. And that's for you to decide if you're comfortable with this buyer. I might try to continue a conversation with this person. The longer conversation you have with somebody, the more clues they give you if they're a good, honest, trustworthy person, or the opposite, right? So I would probably try to get a conversation going, let them know that you're looking into this, and you're just trying to figure out like exactly how to execute it, that you're going to talk to eBay. And that actually might be a good move too, is talk to eBay, like how to protect yourself in this situation. Because the last time I did it was, I haven't lived in Denver in 1, 2, 3, 4. I moved from Denver in 2020, June. So 4.5 years ago. So this is a transaction from a long time ago. So it might be a little bit different, but I might call eBay just to sort of ask them to sort of walk you through the process. You could probably Google it a little bit too, but that would be the first step. I'd get some conversation going with the buyer, see if they're crazy or not. And then also you'll want to add to the listing the free, like it'll be a free local pickup option. And you would add to that and sort of take it from there. But there will be a part where they have to confirm that they received the item, and that's when you'll get paid. That'll be, how like they'll have to hit a button confirming that they picked up the item, and that'll be like the delivery confirmation from USPS when the item gets to the person. Will serve as that, so that then that money becomes your money. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions to that. I'll hang out for a couple minutes. But yeah, please look out for that video. I'll give you a heads up. I'll probably do like a quick story when I'm out there, just kind of giving you a quick glimpse of like what's happening, like what the area looks like. I really don't know, but yeah, I don't know if this is interesting to you, if you care about the stuff that's going out here in Western North Carolina, but it is wild that, people are still not in their homes. And poor Marilyn, she's got to live like 4 hours away and she's paying rent on top of having a mortgage, which is crazy. Let me know, Carrie, if that's if you're good to go or not. Thanks everyone for hanging out for a little bit. I appreciate it. I think I'm just looking around to make sure we shipped everything. And I told you we were going to fill up this bin, and we did. It was a little bit of a slower weekend for sales for me. I think it was like 8 one day, 10 the next day, and 8 the next day. The weekends have been really good for me. Typically, I'd like to see like 12 to 15 items a day. 8 to 10 is fine, but it's February too. So like I said, I always have to change my expectations for February. Obviously, I'm motivated. I don't want to just lay down and say February is going to suck. That's not it. But any business, you have to project for what your good months are and what your bad months are. It's just normal business, right? So my expectations are always a little bit lower for February. I actually started February pretty strong, but February's kind of softening up for me a little bit, kind of as expected, but I'm not laying down. We're listing like crazy. And last week listed 103 items. This week will be a little softer. I got a lot of stuff going on. Like we had that whole car pickup thing this morning. We got this video that we're going to film today, which is a half hour from the house. So that's a time investment. That'll probably be like 3 hours of time total invested in that. Plus I'll have to edit that video. That's more hours. Tomorrow I got an appointment in the morning. I got an appointment in the afternoon. Wednesday I have an appointment. And then I might be doing some more video shoots on Friday. I'm waiting to hear back from Mountain BizWorks. I might be going up to, I think she said we might be going to Marshall on Friday, which is a town I haven't set foot in since November. I did a video, like a long video back in November, and walked through the town of downtown Marshall, which was totally destroyed. Every single building downtown was flooded and at that point gutted or being gutted. So we might go back to Marshall to film some recovery stories of small businesses up there. I just don't have that confirmation yet. So anyway, it's going to be a lot between all these appointments and all this filming. It's going to be a little bit of a different week, and I have to have different expectations about how many items I'm going to be able to list this week. I don't think I'll get 103 out this week, but if I can get 70 items up this week, I'll be pretty psyched with all that. That's the joys of kind of juggling a few different things. I'm also working on a new website for the coffee business. So yeah, there's always like juggling, having those different things sounds fun and being a content creator, but it also creates challenges. And, listen, I would buy and sell more items if I didn't have a coffee, or I'd sell more items on eBay and Poshmark and Mercari and Amazon if I didn't also have a coffee business, if I didn't also create content for reselling, and if I didn't also create content for the rebuild here of Western North Carolina. But I'm happy to juggle all that stuff. It's just, it's cool. Yeah, it's what I want to do. It's it's a conscious decision, but just sharing with you the challenges there. This week might not be 103 listings. I'm looking to get a postage printer. Rollo seems to be a good option, and hope that the is able to print the item number on the side of the label, so it's easy to match two items with labels. It can print other labels, i.e. thank you labels, etc. It's expensive, but seems to be great quality. I see the other. So I use an IDPRT, the SP410. Here, I'll show it to you. I've had this printer for, I'll unplug it to show it to you. It's linked in my profile too, in the seller tools. This is the printer I've had. I bought this in 2021, June to be exact, June 2021. So this has been 3.5 years. I've had this label, put through tens of thousands of labels through this, my shipping labels. It's half the price of the brand that you put there in your notes. I don't mention that brand. It's a great quality printer, that brand, but it is twice as much as you have to spend. And the reason I can say that is because I also have that brand printer and used that for a year before I got this one. I ended up getting a deal with, I made a deal with this company to create sponsored videos using their printer to help them sell printers. But I haven't had that deal with this company in about 2 years. My contact for that company changed. I was never able to get back in touch with them. I do not have a deal. I do not make a penny. If you buy one through like Amazon links, I make like the, whatever it is, like 2 to 4% profit or 2 to 4% commission for it. But I don't have a deal with IDPRT. So I don't have true skin in the game for this. But this printer is every bit as good as that brand that you put there on the screen. It just costs like half the price. And there's oftentimes coupons and stuff on it. If you click through the links in my profile, you'll go to the Amazon listing. And I'm going to do the same thing right now. I'm going to go to chrisatpeak.com and I'm going to click through to that link. Here, let's share the screen. Screen share. Sure. I swear I know how to do this. There it is. Cool. So I'm going to go through the tools to sell online. Click that. My thermal shipping printer IDPRT. Let's see how much it is. I'm curious. This is less than I paid for it. It's $79.99. So there's a, if you click down here, there's a save 20% promo code. So you just want to hit that redeem button and you'll get this, I think, redeem, save 20% off. Let's go add to cart. Let's see what it is in the cart. I don't want the protection. Proceed to checkout. So it's actually $79.99 on sale, but that 20% off is another $16 off with free shipping, including tax, $68.31. Now you can go spend close to $200 for that other printer, and I got it in the closet too. You can go ahead and do that. Be my guest. But why? You could buy 2 of these for less and have one of them as a backup, which I always have a backup printer. I also keep one down at my parents' house. As you know, I travel down to Florida. I'll do thrifting. I'll send a whole thrifting and retail arbitrage. I'll send stuff into Amazon FBA from down there, and I will send boxes of thrifted items back to myself to list on eBay and Poshmark. And I have a printer down there. I have one in the closet there too, because I like to have a backup in case something breaks. My business can keep on trucking, right? So you could buy 2 of these, have a backup, and still save money as opposed to that brand down there. So you buy your thing. But when I say I've had both printers and there is literally no difference between this one and the other one that costs twice as much money, and I've put tens of thousands of labels through this printer and never had an issue with it. It doesn't jam up. It's awesome. That thing's a rock. It's the most reliable thing in my business, besides maybe my shipping scale, which I've had for a little bit longer than that. So $68.31, go through the links in my profile. If you go through the links in my profile, you get the same low price, that $68.31, including tax. I can get delivery tomorrow, free delivery tomorrow. Look at that. You'll still get that same low price.
but it just gives me a kickback. I think I make like 2% of commission because, you know, I'm selling it. Right. What's a better sales pitch than that? Somebody that's been doing this for years. And this is for my labels for Amazon, for eBay. It's how I print out these. You mentioned like some other like thank you stickers. I get these 1-inch thank you stickers. 700 of these cost me, I think, $8, and I print them off on the same label printer. I print all these off. You can see I got a big roll there with that's like 300 of these left. So why spend double the price so you can have the fancy one that those YouTube creators have sponsorships with, and they tell you to buy that one when those YouTube creators know that there's cheaper options that are just as good? They know. They just aren't telling you because they want to make their money. I want to make my $1.50 off you buying this thing too, but I'd rather you get the better printer for half the price. Buy you two, get a backup. Cool. We're back in business, back plugged in. Doesn't take up much space. I have the same printer. It's great. See, there you go. Kerry says so. Bethany has the same printer too. There you go. I think I do still have the Rollo in this. The Rollo might be the one I used down at my parents'. I'm not sure. I don't know where the other one is. I have the other one from IDPRT too. It's the roll. Like you put the roll inside of the printer. It's a little bit bigger. But yeah, you put the roll inside of it and close it up. This one is like, I use the fan fold ones. And anyway, y'all, I'm gonna sign off. We gotta head up to East Asheville, get this video recorded from my friend Mary Lynn and for their neighbors, and get some awareness about what's going on in their neighborhood. And hopefully part of what we're hoping for by sharing this video, they have a complicated situation. They really don't know what the process is out, like the process to get their neighborhood fixed and the riverbank repaired and the road repaired. So we're hoping that through this video that maybe somebody pops up out of the blue and says like, hey, I know exactly what you need to do because we've been through a similar thing. So that's kind of like what we're hoping for too. But if they're up to it, we might raise some money too. Anyway, look out for that video. Thanks everyone for hanging out for a little while. For me, if you're watching this live, thank you. If you're watching this on the recording, I appreciate that too. And if you are watching the recording, if you haven't already, let me know you're watching the recording. Write SHIP, SHIP, down below in the chat. I'll see you next Monday. If not sooner, look out for our videos. We dropped a video already today. We've been dropping videos every single day. We've been dropping photo posts to try to help you make more money, sell more stuff, learn more brands. We've been dropping those videos every day, those photo posts every day. I want you to make more money in 2025. So look out for that stuff. And if you're interested in what's going on in Western North Carolina, I'm going to have a video for you soon. And I'm excited to shoot this one. Peace.